What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super and about how the release schedule in Europe is, to put a very positive spin on it, a little bit intense. We have got a lot of sets coming out, and they are coming fast and furious, and there's promo cards. Let me run you through it. So, in January, in Europe, we got the release of the first set, Galactic Battle. Now, that's a set, we get these all the time. Pokemon has one every 3 months, etc. The thing that makes it a bit more difficult, these sets are rather large. So for instance, if you buy a booster box of a Pokemon set, you expect to get a playset of all of the commons, and you should get a playset of all the uncommons, though you may miss one or two. But if you buy a booster box of Dragon Ball Super, you're only going to get a playset of the odd one or two, and you're going to get 2 or 3 of a bunch of commons and uncommons. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult. If you buy a booster box of Galactic Battle, don't expect to get 4 Senzu Bean and 4 Boost Attack Piccolo, but do expect to need 4 of those at some point. Also released in January, we had the Starter Deck, but of course, the Starter Deck has an exclusive leader card, and you need 1 leader card in your deck. Good news is, you will only ever need 1 of these cards. Bad news is, try finding this starter deck in stock somewhere. I dare you. But the good news is that it does actually have some good cards in it. It's got a playset of Wizard's Coercion, which is quite nice, so it's not a bad product to buy. Also in January, we got the special pack set with, shockingly enough, an exclusive promo, although the good news is it's not seen a huge amount of play. Now, to be fair, that's quite sensible, having a set and the associated products released in January. Yeah, that all makes sense. But then February comes along and the second expansion is immediately released 1 year later. Again, we've got another large set of cards. Again, we don't get all the commons and uncommons if you buy a booster box. I opened one of these a couple of days ago. Do check that out. I'll pop a link in the description. And we also get Super Dash Packs introduced here, which give you 1 of 4 rare cards, and you get one if you buy 12 booster packs of the set, unless you buy them online, where the vast majority of online vendors will not include them, as happened when I bought my box. And since a new expansion has been released, a new set has been released, there's a new special pack coming out as well, which also gives you an exclusive promo, although it's not that widely played, so again, it's not the end of the world. Now, you'd think after having 2 sets in 2 months we would get a break, but no. In comes March with the draft box, which costs about £100, and you get 12 packs of each of the 2 sets released so far, and 4 unique leaders. Except you get 4 copies of 1 of the 4 leaders, you don't get 1 copy of each of the 4 leaders. And would you believe it, all of these leaders are unique to this particular draft box. One of them is Mecha Frieza, the best leader in the game, and the only way to get it is the 1 in 4 chance when you buy this draft box. Hey ho. Now, you would think that would be enough for March, but no. Also in March, we get Expansion Set 1 and Expansion Set 2, each of which has 2 copies each of 7 exclusive promo cards and a deck box, and the only way to get them is in the expansion set. Now, the good news is Expansion Set number 1, some of them have seen play, but they've not been amazing. But in Expansion Set 2, you've got Time Patrol Trunks and Masked Saiyan the Mysterious Warrior. Getting 2 of each of those will probably set you back somewhere around $50 for a $20-25 pack. That, ladies and gentlemen, is not ideal, and because those cards are so good, you need to buy 2 of the Expansion Set 2s in order to get them. Oh yeah, and while we're here, have I mentioned the tournament packs? When you go along to a tournament, a shop tournament, so little local tournaments, you get 1 shop tournament pack. And you get 1 of 8 different promos. And would you believe it, some of these are really playable as well. So in Volume 2, you've got Chilling Terror Android 17, which is basically played in every Android deck, and you've got Determined Super Saiyan Son Gohan, which is pretty much played in every green deck. And yes, you will need a playset of each of these. Now, if you go to enough shop tournaments, it's fine, but I tried to go to a shop tournament at the weekend. They had none of these packs in stock. Uh-oh. So because we've had this release schedule, we've ended up in this really tight spot where what's really expected to happen if you want to keep up with this game. In January, you've got to buy the first set. plus potentially the starter deck and special pack for the promos. In February, you've got the second set, plus potentially the special pack for the promos. And in March, you've got the draft box and 2 expansion sets, which will cost you about £135 in total, and comes with a bunch of exclusive promos. And in the March releases, several of these promos are really, really good. Although obviously you're never going to pay the full amount for the promos, these draft box promos aren't going to cost you £100, but you could still go and spend something like 15 quid on eBay for a Mecha Freezer, while also having a 1 in 4 chance of getting 4 Mecha Freezer buying a draft box. Why has this actually happened? Well, the reason is very simple. We started late. So if we look at the release schedule in America, it looks eminently sensible. In July, they get Galactic Battle, the first set, plus the starter deck and expansion pack. Then nothing in August, September, or October while the game takes hold. In November, they get the second set, Union Force, and the special packs. In December, they get Draft Box 1, but only Draft Box 1. In January, they get the 2 expansion sets. And in February, they get nothing. But then, of course, in March, they're getting the third set, or they've just gotten the third set Cross Worlds. And in April, they get Draft Box 2. We don't have these yet in Europe. Rumours are, and I believe this is confirmed, but someone let me know in the comment section, pop a link, etc. I believe we're going to be getting Cross Worlds in April, which means we get 3 sets in 4 months, and the only month that doesn't give us a set gives us a draft box and the 2 expansion sets. And this has basically caused 2 things, one good and one bad. The bad news is trying to get into this game in Europe is expensive. We've got new sets and exclusive promos coming out all the time. We've got the expansion packs, which we need for the promos. We've got the draft box, which we need for at least Mecha Freezer. And we've got the starter deck, which has got really good cards in, etc, etc, etc. And as expansions are coming out thick and fast, you really need to be dropping £100, £200 every month on this game at the moment. That's the bad news. Here's the good news. We're catching up. You see, the alternative to this would be we end up several months behind America. We follow the same release schedule as America, except we're several months behind, which means that we're always reading stuff on these websites, which is out of date. And it means that we're not able to make the decks we want because we're waiting for the cards to come out over here. So all in all, I think this is good, but I thought it would be nice to sit here and have a look at the release schedule. Yes, it's been very brutal. Yes, it is awkward to keep up with. But the only other thing we could do is be several months behind America, and I think that would actually be a worse result in the long run. I do think there is a bit of an issue with putting really playable cards as promos, which can only be gotten in very limited numbers. I'm looking at you, tournament packs. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is a discussion for a different day. I may well bring a video for that in the next couple of days, although if you want a video about that, please do let me know in the comments and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. So all in all, it's a bit of a pain, it's a bit expensive, it's not an ideal situation, but it's the best they can do for now. And the good news is that there is a little bit of relief on the horizon, because as soon as we get Cross Worlds and the second draft pack, we should be pretty much caught up, and from there on, it will be much easier. I did tell you guys I was going to be starting to cover Dragon Ball Super, and I meant it. We are going to be having a lot more coverage of Dragon Ball Super in the next coming weeks. We're going to be doing some top 5s and top 10s. We're going to be looking at all the top decks and bringing you a breakdown of how they work and what cards you can put in them. We are going to be bringing some news pieces, analysis pieces, etc. I am going to do to Dragon Ball Super, hopefully, what I've done to Pokemon over at TCG Radio. So make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe so you can come along and follow the journey. There's also going to be some video game stuff. There should be a Sea of Thieves video coming up tomorrow on this channel, so come and join in with that. It's all going to be a lot of fun indeed. So comment, like, subscribe, and of course follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. But the most important thing as always is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross and you've been watching Wossy Plays.